Hello, and welcome to a video about the counterclaim paragraph of a claim, counterclaim, conclusion, style, essay, or speech. So you hopefully have already written your claim paragraph where you present one side of the argument, and now you are writing your counterclaim paragraph where you present the other side of the argument. So let's return to my speech that I modeled about the Bandeirantes Memorial here in Sao Paulo. Okay. So here is my paragraph. Let's look at the first sentence. Some may point to the intrepid explorations of the Bandeirantes, settling and expanding the territory of Brazil. So I want to point out the first thing that I've done in this paragraph, which is I started with a transition. Remember, your audience is going to be hearing you, not reading you. So they don't know you've started a new paragraph. You probably paused. But now you need to use a transition word or phrase that signals to them, all right, I'm moving on to the other side now. Some may point to. I have a handout. I'm going to link a video in the comments of this to a video about transitions for claim, counterclaim style writing. So stay with me. Okay. Some may point to the intrepid explorations of the Bandeirantes, settling and expanding the territory of Brazil. They may argue that these deeds are worthy of a memorial. Here's my counterclaim. My claim in the first paragraph was the Bandeirantes were bad, and so they should not have a memorial. We should take it down. My counterclaim is the deeds of the Bandeirantes are worthy of a memorial. Okay? Next, I'm going to move on to my evidence. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, they explored the interior highlands of the country and brought herds of cows. Okay, so this is my first piece of evidence. Think to yourself before I answer the question, is this paraphrase evidence or direct quote evidence? Paraphrase, it's in my own words, and you know that because I didn't use quotation marks, but I still cited my source. I didn't learn this from the air. I didn't do this through my own research. I learned this from Encyclopedia Britannica, but because I didn't use quotation marks, you know it's in my own words. Okay, there's my evidence. And what comes after evidence always? You can never have naked evidence. Reasoning. So I gave this evidence about exploring the interior of Brazil and bringing cows. Well, the cattle and beef industry then boomed in Brazil, due in large part to the Bandeirantes' efforts. Okay, I'm explaining why it matters that they took cows somewhere. Okay. Next, what do? I use a transition word. What's the transition? What's the change? Well, first I was talking about evidence number 1, and now I'm going to go to evidence number 2. Yes, evidence number 2. Here's evidence number 2. In addition, not all Bandeirantes had the goal of enslavement. Many were part of the gold rush in Brazil, and according to global events, there's my source. Here's my quotation marks. The Bandeirantes also sought wealth in the form of gold, silver, and precious gems, which they hoped to find in the course of their explorations. So here I have direct quote evidence with a cited source. This is evidence number 2. I began with a transition word. All right, what comes after every evidence? Reasoning. Brazil did, in fact, become the number 1 exporter of gold during this period, with Brazilian gold saving the Portuguese economy and facilitating the Industrial Revolution in Europe. Why does it matter that they sought gold? Well, this was a big benefit to the country that at that time ruled Brazil, Portugal. Okay. Now I'm coming near the end. You can tell I'm getting to the bottom. What now? Well, now I'm going to do this. I'm going to summarize my evidence and reasoning so far. Because of the exploration of the Bandeirantes, Brazil was expanded westward and cities and towns grew in the areas the Bandeirantes explored. Without the efforts of the Bandeirantes, Brazil wouldn't be the country it is today, right? They did good things. I'm sort of summarizing that their efforts are valuable to the country today. Yeah? So that's how I structured my paragraph. Let me show you what it looks like in a good old Roman numeral outline. I started with my counterclaim. Then I gave my first piece of evidence that supports that counterclaim, and then I explained my thinking. Then I gave my second piece of evidence to support my counterclaim, and I explained my thinking about that one. And then finally, I summarized or concluded the counterclaim in general, that Brazil wouldn't be what it is without the Bandeirantes. Yeah? So there you go. This is my structure, one possible structure for a counterclaim paragraph in a claim counterclaim conclusion style piece of writing. Happy writing!